Okay, are we on? Looks like it. Hey, hi everybody. This is Anthony Gamer, and welcome to second live stream. Did the one yesterday, and so now I'm here. All right, so let's see if we got anybody that shows up. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. In case you're watching this second run, um, so we'll see who we got today. If anybody decides to come by. And today, what was I going to talk about? Now, I'll probably repeat some stuff from yesterday's. Hopefully, we'll get some more folks coming in here today to hang out, have some fun, talk about a couple things. Yeah, interesting. Now, if you watch some of my videos that I've done, like the music videos, I did a lot of them using WWE 2K19. Of course, I wasn't going to get 2K20. I mean, I don't think anybody really actually did get it. I mean, they're pretty much giving them away at GameStop and places like that. But sadly, oh, hello, Isolation Disorder, a very loyal subscriber, someone I'm always happy to see. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I still play 2K19, and I went on there, and they shut down the servers, I think, because 2K22 is out and about and everything. So I'm going to have to eventually, bite the bullet and get 2K22, I'm afraid, because they shut down the servers, and I can't download any new stuff. So I'm going to have to get it. So hopefully as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to. I'm not going to get a PS5, though. Maybe I'll get one eventually, but no big rush for that, because even my brother-in-law, who pretty much buys every new game system that comes out, he hasn't even purchased it yet. So I don't think they're really easy to come by anyway. And honestly, they're still making games for PS4. So anyway, so I was playing that a little bit yesterday and today, but like I said, I'm going to have to just get 2K22 because I can't get any of the games. I mean, I can't download any new creations, so I'm going to have to do that, but that's fine. Speaking of interesting games, my daughter was telling me that they had a game on sale. What was it? The VR game of Sam and Max, and I don't know where it's on sale because I went on the PlayStation Store. I didn't see it. That episode didn't really do that well. It was one that I did that my daughter asked me to do. She got into Sam and Max, that cartoon, if you're familiar with that. And then I did a couple of the games, and she's like, "Oh, do an episode of that," and a lot of times she's given recommendations, and I put the game and I did it, and then boy, it didn't get a lot of views. I got some feedback from some of the viewers, but then that was it. It just didn't do that well. So it's kind of a niche thing anyway. If you ever watch the cartoon, it's kind of like it's it's interesting to say the least. I didn't even know about it when it was on back in the 90s, and I was that's when I was in high school is when it came out, and then I didn't even know about it. It kind of came and went after one season. I think it's got more of a cult following as opposed to some other cartoons. So anyway, anybody so Isolation, did you want to ask anything or any particular questions? Like I said, feel free to just type something, and I'll be glad if you want to discuss anything in particular. Yeah, I got some stuff I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. this box here. All right, one thing. Now, last year I had been the sponsor at the school. Oh, at the school I worked at, I was the gaming club sponsor. And talking to the principal for the new school, yeah, I do plan on doing one. I have the emulator, of course. I thought about getting a Vectrix when I was trying to get some vintage game consoles, and the cheapest I could find one was like $300. And I'm like, no. But yeah, because I did review. I talked about, the one game, the sweeper one, on a previous episode where I talked, because it had product placement. It was advertising a liquor store company. So I talked about that. But yeah, I'd like to talk more about the whole system. So probably after I get done with this unit on the ColecoVision, I'll do the Vectrix. Then I was going to do another console, but yeah, it's a good one. I can kind of get through that one kind of quickly because there's not a whole lot of games. There are some. I'm not even sure if there's any prototypes. I'm sure there's got to be. But then I know that some people have made some homebrews from that system. So I personally never even knew anyone that had it that I can think of. No, not really. Back when I was a kid, most of us had the 2600. I knew a couple people that had ColecoVisions, and then my mom's brother had an Intellivision. Honestly, I didn't know anyone that had that, or if I even knew anyone. Yeah, $500. Yikes. I wonder what kind of quality it is, though, because yeah, I wonder. Now, strangely enough, I have a lot of vintage game consoles, and they're all in great shape. I have an Odyssey 2, and it's in just great condition. Now, I did refurbish one for one of my students. One of my students found an Odyssey 2 in her grandma's house after she passed away, and they found it in deep in the closet somewhere, and I said, well, I'll take a look at it and see if it works, and I'll get in if it's not working, I can see if I can fix it. And I was surprised it looked like it hadn't been touched in like decades, which it probably hadn't, but it was, I think, the first model, because it actually had the joystick attached. The cable was actually attached. You couldn't unplug it. It was both of the joysticks were attached to it. So I only had to do a little bit of work to it, but then I got it working just fine. And it was funny because, like, in the box, it had a couple games. Oh, that box was in bad shape, but there was a couple boxes for games. But I think the only actual cartridge in there was for the basketball bowling game, which is, of course, a lot of fun. I love that game. And I was able to, get it working. I tested it out on my TV, and I got that little adapter that you put in the back. So I got it working just fine. And luckily, I don't know what they did with it. I haven't talked to her since she graduated, but I think she was saying her dad's going to try to keep it or something. I don't know, but hopefully, they'll get some more games for it. There's a really cool multi-card out there. I got it, and I don't know if the guy's still making them or not, but it's one of those ones with the switches, and yeah, that's a pain, but it does work, and it's got some really cool stuff on there, a lot of prototypes, stuff that I didn't even have the ROMs for, so that's pretty much telling you something. Anyway, so when I do the gaming club, I talked to the principal, and he'd like me to do that, and he's an old school gamer too, so what I got was a couple plug and play consoles to use for the gaming club. I'll show you those real quick. I got the C64 Mini. I was able to get this for a really reasonable price, and I actually plugged in a an SD card in it, so I was able to add more games to it. It's really neat if like I said, if anyone else is going to be watching this after or someone jumps in later, this is really cool. I was able to get it for like 40 some bucks, and it's really neat. Unfortunately, the keyboard down here, of course, is a faux keyboard. It's just, but then with the joystick, you can go in and put in, and have access to a virtual keyboard. It's really cool, especially for people that had a Commodore back in the day. Yeah, it's really neat. Like I said, I got it on Amazon. It was like 40 bucks. Like I said, it comes with games already in it, but then you can get an SD card and plug it in and add as many games as you want to it. It's really cool. The only game I could not get to work was Bruce Lee for some reason. I don't know why. It worked just fine on the emulator and stuff, but I mean, it's got a bunch of the Epix games. I'll tell you what's really, I did put Lazy Jones on there, and of course, one of my favorite C64 games, Bozo's Night Out, which is just, hilarious. Let's see what else I got. This is something I got too. This mini arcade machine. Everyone loves Miss Pac-Man. This was my mom's favorite game. And my dad had always wanted to get an arcade machine of Miss Pac-Man, but my father was the type that he said, well, he always was used to going places and people would say, well, if you can get it out of here, you can have it. And that's how he got a bowling machine, his jukebox, and a couple other things. And he kept waiting for somebody to do the same thing with a Miss Pac-Man machine, and they never did. But this one is really nice. If you fire it up, the graphics are just amazing on it. And I happened to see it when I was with my daughter, I think at Walgreens, and I just wanted to snatch it up because I knew that if I didn't, somebody else would. And then it ended up on eBay for like 3 times the amount, but really nice. Like I said, everyone loves Miss Pac-Man. It's just one of those games like everybody loves. So also check this out. I got the Oregon Trail handheld. I had seen this at Walgreens as well, but I got it a little bit later, and it's really kind of cool. It's like, actually, I'll see if I can get this to turn on. I don't remember how I did that. Oh, yeah, there it is. But if you know anything about old school gaming, it's the Apple IIe version of the game. So yeah, if you remember playing this back when you were a kid, this is it. It's got the original. It's got everything you need to do on it. It's pretty cool. It's a little big for a handheld, but I guess there's a lot of data to store in there, so it's pretty cool. And I did a episode, of course, one of my early edutainment games. I talked about the Oregon Trail, and actually in my new book, I wrote an article in there about Oregon Trail. So I'll get to the book in a little bit. What else did I get? Well, my wife got me the Retro Arcade Machine X. So it looks it's like a multi-arcade. But I'll warn you, I mean, they're all original games. They're based on. Here's 50 bucks. Let me spend on one game. I got it. I'm trying to remember how. I didn't pay a lot for it. I think I got it for like 20 on eBay. And it retailed for about that much at Walgreens when I saw it. It was about 20 bucks. So, yeah, that is a lot for one game. But how many times are you going to be able to actually beat it? That's the thing. Honestly, as a kid, I think I beat it like once. And there's a lot of other people you mean like, oh, I beat the game several times. It's like, yeah, okay. Tell me another one. Last time I played, I actually made it to the Snake River in Idaho, but then I died from dysentery. Surprise. But anyway, like I said, these are all original, almost like homebrew games. I don't remember. I didn't play all 300 games on it, but I do remember. But a lot of them were like kind of based on. I've never. Don't feel bad, but a lot of people have played it. A lot of the games on here, like I said, are like 8-bit kind of game inspired games. So yeah, I'm just gonna. That's something else that I'll be taking. Yeah, I never actually bought a ColecoVision. I actually got the plug and play, the flashback, and so I got this, mostly because for the main another reason I never got one is because I couldn't find one for a reasonable price. Everybody that had a ColecoVision was wanting way too much for it, and I'll be honest, the ColecoVision was like one of my least favorite consoles for one reason. I hate these controllers. I never liked the controllers for the ColecoVision. Even in emulation, they're still clunky. That's been my experience anyway. So also, I got the Legends Flashback. Now, this is one that's worth getting. This is one if you decide to get a flashback console, this is the one to get because you can not only yeah. Well, Congo Bongo was fun no matter what it was on. Even no matter how bad the port was, the game was still fun. One of the most interesting ports I ever saw was for the SG-1000. That was almost like reimagined of the whole game. Interesting with this. Now, there's been a lot of videos online of people saying, well, I put all kinds of ROMs on there. Well, I could only get the Sega Genesis ROMs to work and the NES ones as well. So this one's kind of cool because it's got Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and NES ROMs on it. Same thing. You just put in one of them good old SD cards, fill that sucker up, and then you got yourself a cool, almost like a multicade here. Lots of cool. I put lots of, and of course, it's got 50 games of its own. Arcade kind of games like Mappy, but so it's got NES and Sega Genesis, Mega Drive games. So I just filled the sucker up. I saw a video where they said, "Oh, that you could do 2,600 games," but I tried and they didn't work. So but that's fine because I won't really need that because I've also got this. Yep. This is the best of the flashbacks. Now, there's been a couple Atari flashbacks made. Excuse me. This is the best one to get because it's got a little slot in the back to put in an SD card. So, yeah, I mean, it comes with with 100 built-in games, but then you can add your own, which is what I did. I'll warn you though, it won't play like new homebrews. I couldn't get any of John Champeau's games to work on there. I couldn't get, I think I did get Anteater to work. I mean, Aardvark, excuse me. I think I got that to work. Pursuit of the Pink Panther won't work. So I even used that special cracked version that they made for that it would work on like Harmony Kart, but it doesn't work on here. So also really worth the investment. Make sure you get the Flashback 9 though, so you got that extra, so you can add your own games to it. Okay, I got all those chords and other fun stuff in here. And of course, last but certainly not least, the Intellivision. Yep, the Intellivision Flashback. It's got a lot of great games. I think it's got like 50 games in it. It's got 50 games, I believe, in it too. I was a little and then of course I had to also, I don't know where I put those things. They were in the box, I thought. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I got this used. But luckily, I got a collection of all the overlays. So yeah, I got all the overlays for all the games in there. So it's going to be neat to show the kids these vintage consoles. I think the kids are going to get a kick out of it. When I was teaching this past year, when I was sponsor of the Computer and Gaming Club, the kids were just surprised because their idea of old school gaming for most of them was Nintendo 64. That's their idea of old school. And of course, there's nothing wrong with the Nintendo 64. It's an amazing console. I still don't have one though yet. I need to get one, but money again. So I'm hoping to get one soon. I love the games on that as well. I've got a game, ouch, but don't actually have one yet. I mean, don't have one yet, but I got a game. It's a long story. Anyway, a couple more cool things. When we get some more people coming in here. Yeah, now when I was a kid, we had the NES, like a lot of people did. This weird guy I used to know, Jeremy. He's like the only kid I knew that had a Sega Master System. Okay. No, then another. It's funny. The two people I knew that had Sega Master Systems were weird, but so I had an NES as a kid, of course, and then when it came time to upgrade, we got a Super Nintendo. I have no idea whatever happened to it. I think my brother took it when he moved out, and I don't know what happened to it since. But so when I was getting new old consoles, of course I wanted to get a Super Nintendo, but then the prices of that were really high. I got a Super Famicom instead, and it was actually a lot less. It was a lot cheaper than the Super Nintendo was. I don't know why, but so I was able to get this for a very reasonable price. And of course, you got to get you one of these too, so that you can play Super Nintendo games on it. Now, really, they do? They go for quite a bit, huh? There were some good games on it. I'm not gonna totally bash it. Bash it. There were some great games on it. At least their version of Double Dragon was 2-player co-op. That's one thing I will say. That was, that at least was good, because the NES version was cool and it was a totally reimagined and more puzzle, but calling it Double Dragon was it wasn't 2-player co-op, but at least the Sega Master System version was. And of course, that pro wrestling game was just a total guilty pleasure. I loved it. Like I said, this is I got this here so that I can play Super Nintendo games on this. You just plug the cart in and then pop it in and you got it. So, and also I got a Sega Genesis. The Sega Genesis had some awesome games. Especially some of the foreign games were really cool. Especially some of those foreign games that what's her name? Kim Justice talks about on her channel. Those Mega Drive games, some of those are really cool, but strangely enough, a lot of those European games are football, soccer games. So, but anyway. Okay, so I put those suckers in. I don't remember where I put them. Where did I put those? I did some reorganizing with some of my cartridges, and for the life of me, I don't remember where I put some of them. Give me a second. Oh, here's where I put them. I did some reorganizing because I've got a lot of game stuff here. Hello, looks like somebody else has joined us. So I keep like my carts for other systems in here. So as I always say, and they left. But anyway, as I said, if you're going to spend the money on getting a vintage game system, one thing you've got to make sure and get are these multi-carts. This particular one is for the Super Nintendo. It's called Super Game 120 in 1. I think I paid like $20 for this, and it's got all kinds of cool stuff like Earthbound, of course, which is the main reason I got it, because I'm not going to pay $300 for that game. Definitely not. This is definitely something to get, and I got this on AliExpress. I didn't get it on eBay. AliExpress is a good place. You just got to wait for the shipping because it's coming from China, so the shipping's a little slow. But then, whenever you order anything online, a good friend of mine once said, order it and forget about it. So you won't be spending all your time like checking the mailbox, wondering where the heck it's at. So I do have a what's that? I have a Famicom. I did get a Famicom, so I got one of these. I got this multi-cart for the Famicom. It's got 501. God, I got this for real cheap. I didn't pay much at all for it. It's got all kinds, some cool games on it. And then when I got that, they also sent me this, which is 24 different versions of Contra. Yep. Well, what's cool is like they have like, excuse me, some of them are modded where you can actually start with 30 lives without having to put an up, down, left, right, BA start. And there's ones that when you die, you keep the machine gun or something like that. So it came along with it. I wasn't complaining for sure. The only actual Famicom game I have is this one about the band Sekimatsu, a really awesome heavy metal band. A really cool game too. If you like NES Nintendo platformer, it's a cool game. But the best version of it was made for the MSX too. So, and one of the prizes of my collection right here, this is a Sega Genesis multi-cart. It says over 800, I'll put that up there, it says over 830 classic games, but actually there's 1,277 on there. So you got a lot of games on here. That's, wow. Yeah, and I think I paid like maybe 30 for it, and I got it also off AliExpress. You can see like on the back there where you put the SD card in. So, I mean, well, actually the SD card's in there. I'm not going to take it out. But it's got a battery backup and stuff. It's really cool. Definitely something, because as any of you that are game collectors know, vintage games can be sometimes be astronomically expensive. I mean, to the point where it's like, wow, yeah, I know, 1,000 exactly. Like I said, it's called, if you want to get one, like I said, it's just, like I said, the best is called the best 1,277 over. You can find it on AliExpress. And of course, like I said, you just got to wait for it to come in the mail, but eventually, and it works. Sometimes it's like you feel like it's not working because it does weird stuff when you turn it on, but it does. But like I said, the game, it's really worth it. And then you've got different versions of games from around the world because, as many of you know, games can be different from one region to another. Like, for instance, if you go, the Japanese version of Sonic is different than the American version. At least that's what I've been told. I have, of course, both versions, but I haven't really sat and compared the differences between them. So yeah, I would honestly, of course, the best multi-cart I ever got, of course, was the Harmony cart for the 2600. Yeah, I love Deputy Dog. Probably one of my favorite cartoons of all. I do have a complete collection of all the cartoons. I got them from a guy years ago, and there actually were a couple missing. It says complete, but there were actually 2 cartoons missing. I found later. But yeah, I have all of them. I love Deputy Dog. I got a couple cool Deputy Dog collectibles. I got the plastic figure. I don't know if you were around in the late 70s, early 80s that they used to sell at like Great America. They had the Looney Tunes characters, and I got one of Deputy Dog. I got a plush somewhere. Actually, I think it's in the back there, behind I'm at my desk, and I have a really cool plush. Then I got a couple others. I got some stickers, and I got the board game. It's actually, pack it up. Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I went through and I packed up some of my kid board games. I packed a lot of those up, and they're in the garage because my daughter's getting old. She's 16, and So, but I got as much Deputy Dog stuff as I could get without going crazy. Like they had the what was that one? They had the lunchbox. It was this vinyl lunchbox, and they wanted like $300 for it. And I knew if I got that, I would lose my happy home. I had a Kiss lunchbox at one time, but then I sold it because I needed money. Yeah, Vince. Yeah, good old Japanese dog, Vincent Van Gogh Muskrat. Get out of that hen house, you cotton picking barman. But oh yeah, I love that. My wife hates that cartoon. I don't, she every time she sees me watching it, she kind of rolls her eyes and stuff. But yeah, nothing like the classics. I tell you. Speaking of classics, I love watching the older cartoon. I like anything animated, anything with puppets, anything like that. So I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching a couple different cartoons. From doing research for my channel, I discovered Duckula, and Danger Mouse. So I was watching those cartoons. It's a shame those didn't like catch on in America. Those were kind of neat, but oh yeah, too. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling, what's her name? Oh yeah, I got that too. I got that whole collection too. Um, oh yeah, that was a cart. They don't make cartoons like that anymore. I tell you. Um, what else was I gonna ask about? So lately, I'm trying to think. There was something I was gonna discuss. Anybody else? Like I said, I see we got another person in here. Hello. If you had any things you wanted to ask or any questions, please don't. Please feel free. I'm gonna have a contest coming up next month. Now I'm going to be. How the contest is going to work? You watch two different videos. I have the video with I remember the Intellivision tribute, and then I have the one where I talked about the video I created for the song "Born to Raise Hell" by Motorhead. Now, a lot of games were featured in those videos. So watch those videos. Send me a direct message, either Facebook, Atari. You'll find me on Atari Age, and tell me the names of those games that were in those videos. And of course, it's going to be more than one person, I'm sure. And then I'm going to put those names like in a drawing. And first prize is a $50 Visa gift card. Yep, $50, $50 gift card. All you got to do, watch those two videos, the Intellivision tribute and the Born to Raise Hell. Tell me the games that were in those videos. Direct message me, let me know, and you'll be in a drawing. And first prize is a $50 Visa gift card. Second prize is an autographed copy of my new book. That is actually my 19th book, and it's called History of Gaming According to a Middle-Aged Guy Who Likes Old Video Games and Plays with Puppets. And it's a series of the articles that I wrote for when I was the sponsor for the gaming club. I used to write articles every week for in the Google Classroom for that club. I created a Google Classroom for the gaming club, and I would write about different things in there. And by the time the end of the year came and I was cleaning out my computer, getting stuff off of my work computer, and I happened to look, and I said, well, let's just back these up for posterity. So I did the good old click, copy and paste. And then when I looked, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize. I guess there were a lot of best place is Amazon. They're all on Amazon. You can find them on Amazon. Just put my name in. There's also a link on all my videos. I have a link where you can check out the books. I try to make sure all of them are available. I try to set the price as low as possible because my last name isn't King or Grisham, so I set the prices as low as they'll let me. And of course, with printing prices and all that, they don't really make the so. But then of course the ebooks I set those really, really low, so you can get the ebooks for a very reasonable price. Yeah, so then as I was saying, when I took all of the books, when I took all the articles, excuse me, and I counted them, there were a bunch. I'm like, wow, I guess I didn't realize how much I'd written. But I guess that made sense, because I'd write about one, maybe two a week, and I'd upload to the Google Classroom. And then when I was done, I was like, wow, there were so many of them. And I said, well, okay, I've got these all backed up. And then I thought about doing a blog, and I did, but then nobody went to the blog. And I said, well, it's been a couple of years since my last book. And I said, well, all right, let's just publish these. So I put them in a big collection, and so they're in the book, and it's about 300 pages. I didn't know it would be that long either, but there's some interesting articles in there where I talk about vintage gaming, some gaming controversies, prototypes, all that good stuff. So it was actually a lot of fun. But then of course I had to go back through and edit it a little bit, but it was neat. And then I would when the kid, and at the end of the school, throughout the year, we would have like I would create these Jeopardy labs where we would have gaming type questions. Oh wow, you know who Abruptum is? That is so freaking awesome. Oh, that is so awesome. You know who Abruptum is? That is, oh wow, yeah, gosh. Yeah, I was a big fan. I feel privileged that I got to talk to Tony or it via email when he was in 8th Sin. And if I'd known how really friendly he was, I would have corresponded with him more, because I talked to other people and they said that he just loved interacting with fans and emailing and stuff. I really wish I'd known that. I would have kept him better. I would have kept in contact with him better. Yeah, sorry. It was so sad, that when he passed away. It was just so unexpected, and I was glad though I got to meet some people in the metal scene. I got to have a really nice talk with Jim Berger, who was all in his band. He was in Vondur, and then he was also in Ophthalmia, and it was great to get to talk to him. I don't, it was. And then I got to meet Tony's sister and his niece. It was fun. It was great. Oh hell yes. Oh yeah, me too. I just love heavy metal. True. I got this tat. See, of course, my favorite band of all is Enslaved. This is the vintage logo. I love Enslaved. Yeah, I can imagine that. He seems like it too. That he would be. I heard the same thing about Hellhammer. He was a pretty cool guy. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. He's one of those guys. He'll be on like anyone's album. He's kind of like the Snoop Dogg of heavy metal. Just ask him; he'll be on your album. But that's actually turned out to be my biggest seller, is that book. For a while, the Fart Encyclopedia was my biggest seller, and then that took over that spot, and I was like, okay, good. My hope though is that it gets more people interested in some of the more underground metal, as opposed to stuff like Five Finger Death Punch and those commercial metal bands. I hope more people are interested. It helps more people get interested in the black metal and that kind of stuff, because honestly, you can kind of keep some of this commercial metal. It just I like some of it. I like Slipknot, and I like Stained, but yeah, some of this other stuff like Five Finger Death Punch and Seether and whatever. That's not really metal. But metal, what is metal is kind of, I guess, up to someone's interpretation. Regardless, oh hell yes, God, I love King Diamond. I've worn my King Diamond shirt a couple times. I actually have an action figure too. The one that they look like the Kenner because oh yeah, I love King Diamond. I've been a King Diamond fan since Abigail. Really showing my age there, I know, but oh yeah, King Diamond is fucking awesome. I love, man. I hope that new album comes out eventually. I've had the single for quite a while. I just hope it comes. Yeah, I'd like to see the new album come out. That's for sure. But King Diamond, yes, King Diamond's got some just amazing albums. It's funny, just want to talk about the people that hate on King Diamond, and it's mostly out of jealousy. And like, oh, but he's a Satanist. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, not an issue for me. Never has been, never will be. So, but yeah, hopefully, like I said, I'll get a chance to. Voivod's okay. I don't really get much into prog metal that much. Prog metal's not really my thing. There's a couple I like Queensryche. Again, kind of dating myself there. My wife and I saw them a couple years ago. Then I like. There's this interesting band I listen to sometimes. Trying to remember their name. They're like a progressive black metal from Norway. Surprise. I got my phone right here. Let me look that up real quick. But generally speaking, prog metal is not really my thing. Like I never really cared for Sabotage or guys like that. Just I don't know. I mean, there's so many different subgenres of metal that you can kind of pick and choose what you like. That's what that's one of the things about heavy metal is that there's Fluidity. That's the name of the band, Fluidity. Let me type that up here in the comments. But yeah, these guys are pretty. There we are. Yeah, they're a pretty awesome band, especially their first album. Really awesome. But that's the cool thing about heavy metal is like the only type of music that there are so many different subgenres that you're gonna find something you like. It's not like other types of music like rap or stuff like that where it's there's no difference between East Coast, West Coast. Oh hell yeah. But like I said, it's not like other types of music. What's the difference between East Coast and West Coast rap? It all sucks ass anyway. So whoopee. But with heavy metal, like I said, you got grindcore, which I'm not too crazy about. But mostly, I like sludge. I like black metal, melodic death, doom. Those are the ones I like the most. And of course, Viking metal. Enslaved, thrifting, or however you say that. And yeah, so Moon Sorrow, Life Lover. Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks for the suggestion. So, yeah, I would love to get to see King Diamond. That's for sure. Definitely. I have lots of video concerts that I've seen, of course. And it's kind of funny because my wife's church, the church my wife goes to, there's a couple women there who you think are trying to sound like King Diamond, but yeah, it's kind of painful actually to listen to them. It's like, sorry, unless your name is King Diamond or Brian Wilson, don't try to do falsetto. It isn't cool. So. But so anyway, another thing up there, you see that if you're looking up there, I actually did that. Oh, I got that build your that like pinball kit. I actually traded that same student Phaedra. Oh, you're so awesome. I'm so jealous. But that pinball is really cool. I traded one of the seniors that were in their economics class. Their teacher assigned them to go trading stuff, so they were trading like all over the place. And I actually traded my one student Phaedra. I traded her. I don't know if you remember those Activision at games where it's got like a bunch of Atari 2600 Activision games in. It's like a white and orange controller. And you plug it in the back of the TV, and it's got like, you know, Pitfall and all that stuff. I traded her that, and I got that pinball machine kit. It was kind of cool. I know that, you know, she got the better deal, but I didn't mind because it was cool to get her to play some of those older games too, you know. But yeah, God, I would love to see King Diamond. I really would. It was funny. They played in Chicago. They were gonna play. The wife and I, went to see Ghost, and they were gonna play at this place called the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, and it would have been great to see. And we actually walked past it to get to where Ghost was playing. It, because usually it's strange. The Aragon Ballroom usually has. I know this is weird, but they usually have like Mexican bands there. Like one of my favorites, Los Temerarios, they've been there lots of times, but I refuse to go see them because usually they got a whole bunch of other people with them. And I know that I'm just going to have to suffer through some of these other bands that I don't care about in order to hear, you know, them. So, but yeah, there's a lot of cool venues in Chicago. And the wife and I used to go to a lot of shows before the pandemic started. And, you know, I think we'll probably start going back slowly now. There was one, yeah. I want to. There's going to be one in October. Another band I really like, Batushka. They're going to be in Chicago, I think in October, November. I definitely want to go see that. That's that because I've seen them, you know, concert videos of them, and they're just fucking awesome, man. There's that whole theatrical show is just unbelievable. So yeah, I'll tell you, there's some great bands out there. There really are. The thing about metal is there's always new ones to discover. And it's, I imagine, yeah. And of course, the most amazing band, Boston, is from Boston. I love that band. God, I love that album so much. That's got to be one of those albums, honestly, that I could just, and I have listened to it on repeat. Just, you know, I mean, what a great album. I mean, they do not make albums like that anymore. That first album, then Third Stage, man, I tell you, oh man, those were oh man. Yeah, I imagine they probably got, you know, that's a big that's a place I'm sure a lot of bands make stops there. So I imagine, yeah, you probably can just pick and choose who you want to go see. With some of the great venues, I'm sure, you know, you guys have there. Chicago, it's kind of hit or miss because there's like a lot of arenas. I mean, there's arenas. Oh, I imagine. Oh, I can't even imagine. I imagine. Wow, just. But yeah, in Chicago, which is like the closest big city, there's a lot of good venues, a lot of nice clubs where like you could see a lot of good metal shows. Like the wife and I went to this one called Dirty Nelly's, and way up in, it was that one place that had that a Brown's Chicken thing. But they had we went there to see Max Sabbath. Man, they put on a great show. I mean, I know they're a joke band and all, but man, they're talented. Great show. And it was a nice club. Really nice club. And it was funny because like we asked, do you guys order, I mean, you guys serve dinner here? And they're like, yeah. And then you know, and I go, would you like to order something? I said, yeah. And so they actually brought out a table there, and you know, because it's standing room, they brought out a table of chairs and brought the dinner to us. It was nice. It was a great show. We used to go to this one club in Schaumburg, and they had shows there all the time. We saw Scott Stapp there. We saw Queensryche. We saw Jack Russell's Great White. I think it's gone now. I know it's been through a couple different owners after that, but it was a nice club. So yeah, there's lots of good venues in Chicago. Now, of course, then also you've got, you know, the House of Blues, and I've seen a lot of great shows there. Oh, I know, Max. They are just amazing musicians. That guitar player is no joke. he's a hell of a guitar player and a bass player too. So I mean, yeah, they're silly and funny and stuff, but damn, they're talented. Um, like House of Blues is another nice place. I saw many years ago. I saw Pissing Razors and Propane, and they had a band called Puya, this Puerto Rican metal band. They kind of mixed traditional Puerto Rican music with heavy metal. They stole the fucking show, man. What a great concert. And then I took the wife there to see Chris Isaac because we're both big Chris Isaac fans. Oh yeah, I know. He's had that same band with him for a long time. He's had, I think, pretty much had the same backup band for like years, and he's a hell of a accordion player. I mean, just very talented, for sure. Um, but like I said, the wife and we went to see Chris Isaac because we're both big fans of his. And actually, I got my wife the Chris Isaac show on DVD. I had to do some nefarious things to get it, but I just had to find some people. Honestly, one thing I would love to get is I would love to get Giggle Snort Hotel. I would love to get those episodes. Unfortunately, like 3 of them are on YouTube. I was able to find one other one, but I would love to get that series. I know BJ, Bill Jackson, before he passed away, he was selling them on his website, but it's gone now. And I've been trying to find those episodes, the whole series, if I can, but so far I haven't been able to. There's definitely one I'd like to get, but the Chris Isaac show was funny, and also because my wife wanted to hit someone. This one woman got drunk too early in the show, and too early. I mean, even before the opening act, she was lit, and she kept bumping into my wife, and my wife was ready to just slug her. But it was a fun show, and she really enjoyed that. So, and I did too. So yeah, I've been lucky to have been gone to some great shows over the years. There's nothing like seeing a band live, I tell you. I remember my daughter too. She likes going to shows with me. I took her to see the Monkees when we used to have this place called the Star Plaza here, where it was like a hotel, and they had a oh yeah, he puts on a great show, and they act up and act silly just like they do on the show. I mean, on the TV series on Showtime, they were acting silly, and it was just a lot of fun. It really was. But I took my daughter to see the first show. Well, we saw the Doodle Bops. That was fun. Actually, the parents were having more fun there than the kids were, I think. And then I took her to see the Monkees, and luckily, this is when it was Mike and Peter and Mickey. Unfortunately, Davey was gone. But it was a great show. Especially, I loved the Mike Nesmith songs like "Circle Sky," "The Kind of Girl I Could Love," and "You Might Be the One." So they did all the Mike songs, so I was so happy. Oh, definitely too. Yeah, his solo stuff is just great. Now, a friend of mine was really close with him, and he took it really hard. Marty Ross, he actually was the bass player for the New Monkees, and they actually were really good friends. And unfortunately, when Mike passed away, he took it real hard because they'd been really close. He took it real hard, and I did too, because I mean that I had just loved the Monkees as a kid. And JoJo enjoyed the show, although the only song she knew was "I'm a Believer," and that's because it was in Shrek. But she had a good time, and it was a great show. I think they keep saying this shit like, "Oh, they're not gonna let them in the Hall of Fame because they weren't a real band." Well, how many other people that they've let in there? I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a load of shit anyway. But I mean, how many other people they put in there that weren't real bands, or I don't know, whatever. So that's just bullshit to me. But yeah, I mean, Mike was a hell of a singer, songwriter, guitar player, just so talented. They all 4 of them were in their own right. Were in their own right. Peter was a hell of a bass player, and yeah, I mean, the songs that he wrote. I mean, Sweet Young Thing. That is such a freaking cool song. The kind of girl I could love. I mean, he just was a hell of a songwriter. I mean, honestly, I just love his stuff. When I was in the last band I was in, I wanted to do. I said, let's do some monkey tunes. They're like, oh yeah, let's do. Well, I love Daydream Believer, but no, I wanted to do Circle Sky. I wanted to do the kind of girl I could love, and there's like, let's do monkey songs people actually know. It's like, just get the fuck out of here. But so yeah, what I'm gonna be doing for the remainder of this month and next month. I'm gonna keep doing the episodes with the puppets alone, because actually I'm gonna be doing school's gonna be starting back next week. No shit. Oh man, I love that song. Yeah, I love Circle Sky. That is my song, man. I remember when I bought that album from my dad. He's just like, what the that album, that Just Us. My dad's like, what the hell? I mean, it was like they rocked out on that album. That was a great album. This is probably why I didn't like Pool It, because Mike wasn't on it, but I thought that album was a cash grab anyway. But so like I said, I'm gonna be doing them, but then like I said, school starts next week, and I'm gonna be doing so I gotta start getting ready for that. I think I pretty much got everything ready to go. Monday, the wife and I are going to go check out the school and, see my classroom, and then I got to start training and all that. So, but yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited about the school year starting, and, I'm going to keep other projects going. I've got other books I got to finish. Like I have one book where I've had the cover for like years. I paid to have a cover made for a book, but the book's not done. And then, oh, excuse me. Yeah, probably do some more, keep the writing going. Like I said, keep the channel going, and maybe get a band going again. I just want to, I just want to keep busy with stuff. I appreciate that. Thanks. I'm really looking forward to it. It's great to be back in education. I had some great kids last year. I really did. And I was sad though that, I wasn't able to come back to the same school, but it seems like a better deal that I got anyway, where I'm going to be going. So I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, the principal's like, when we talked in my interview, he's an old school gamer too. And he goes, I care about results, use the gaming stuff as like positive reinforcement, and, just get, and I did last year, so I'm really excited about it. I really am. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I was up early today. So anyway, well, I was kind of hoping we'd get more, but it's always nice to talk to you, Isolation. It's just great. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I bet the kids loved you. You're probably like the super cool guy. Like the kids are like, hey, my man, so I can see that because, but yeah, like it is. Kids are just, it's great. It really is. I'm just sad that my kid is 16. I miss when she was little. But anyway, so it was, like I said, nice talking with you. I'm just kind of sad we didn't get more folks in here. It would have, but it's kind of hit or miss. But maybe I'll do it again before, maybe next weekend or something. We'll see. Hopefully I'll get some more other folks to show up. But like I said, this was nice. Like I said, it's great to get a chance to talk to a like-minded person, because, oh, there I go again. Okay, I think I'm trying to tell myself something here. So, like I said, about the contest, don't forget. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. Take care of yourself. Be well, and keep in touch. So, well, if any of you are watching this post discussion, you missed out on a great time. Hopefully, after watching this, you guys will want to come back for another one, and we'll have some more conversations. So I guess until next time, this is Anthony Gamer. I'm signing off for now. So until we meet again, be strong, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and above all, take care of each other, be kind to each other, and stop hate of all kinds. So see you guys soon. Bye.